New reports this morning of potential complications now during major talks on Iran's nuclear programs. Those talks in Baghdad are now officially over. There were 2 days of them. U.S. diplomats say that they were hopeful that they could reach a compromise with Iran's regime. Republican Lindsey Graham is on the Senate Armed Services Committee, and he joins me now. Good morning, Senator. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
You know, obviously, there are few greater threats to the world, really, than a nuclear-capable Iran. And the hopes of these talks were that we could turn the clock back, that we could get them to stop enriching uranium, that we could get some of it to be shipped abroad. Are we getting anywhere here?
No. The sanctions are hurting the economy in Iran, but they're not changing the behavior. The difficult atmosphere created is not around the P5+1 wanting to stop the Iranian nuclear-capable program. It's the Iranians themselves. They've killed over 2,000 Americans in Iraq by shipping in IEDs made in Iran. They help Hezbollah and Hamas attack Israel. They're a big agent of supporting terrorist organizations. So the difficult atmosphere is the Iranian regime's threats against Israel. I believe that they should not be allowed to enrich any uranium at any level. I don't trust them to be able to enrich just for peaceful purposes. I think we'll never know what they're up to, so they should stop all enrichment, hand over all enriched uranium at 20%, and open up every site that we suspect to be an Iranian nuclear program to spot inspections without notice. Anything short of that would be a huge mistake.
Well, they've continued along this march, really, over the past several years, enriching more uranium to the weapons-capable capacity, 20%, as you point out. They've also buried some of that capability so deep beneath the surface of the ground and behind such thick walls that even a strike probably wouldn't get at them. And a lot of these talks are to avoid just that, a strike from Israel. How is that looking, in your opinion?
Well, put yourself in the Israeli position. This is inconsistent with developing a peaceful nuclear program. I don't mind a nuclear power reactor being built in Iran. I just want to control the fuel cycle. I don't mind having a nuclear power plant in Iran. I just want people we trust and can verify to provide the fuel. I don't want the Iranians to enrich fuel at all. But why would you build a reactor at the bottom of a mountain for medical isotope purposes? Why would you go through this hell of sanctions if you're not trying to do something beyond a peaceful nuclear power plant? So what I think the Israelis have to face is that every day that goes by, their nuclear program gets hardened in Iran, and Israel's ability militarily to slow it down is lost. There'll come a point in time when Israel has to make a decision. When the Israelis believe that their military capability has been diminished to slow down the Iranian program, they're going to have to do one of two things. Let that window close and rely totally on the United States, or act themselves. I believe they're going to act themselves. I don't believe they're going to give their destiny over to the United States, no matter who's president. And the Iranians are marching toward a conflict if they don't change their behavior. And if there's a conflict to come with Iran, it will be of their choosing, not mine. I don't trust these people with nuclear enrichment at all. They talk, they negotiate, and they enrich, and it's about to put the world into darkness.
It sounds like you have no hope for these sanctions. I know there are stiffer sanctions in terms of oil exports from Iran that are supposed to kick in on July 1st. Do you think that would put a meaningful stranglehold around them, that would put them in a position where they would have to start turning over some of this stuff, or no hope for even that?
Well, I think sanctions have really gotten their attention, but they haven't changed their behavior. The only way they'll stop their march toward a nuclear weapon, and they believe if they get a nuclear capability, the world will leave them alone like North Korea, is for them to believe there's a credible threat of a military strike. Sanctions alone will not do it. They believe they can survive an Israeli attack. They believe they can survive an Israeli attack militarily, and the world will be divided, and some will come to their side. They know they cannot survive an all-out military attack. You don't need boots on the ground from the United States. If they believe that we will not use military force to stop their nuclear program between now and the election, I think they're going to try to break out and obtain a nuclear capability as soon as possible.
Frightening scenario. Senator Lindsey Graham has followed this very closely, of course, from the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Sir, thank you for being here. We'll talk to you soon again, I hope.